Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of the 2017 horror movie, The Bye-Bye Man, which I thought sucked. I was not a fan of this movie at all. I didn't think there was a single moment of it that was remotely frightening. The only thing I could say that I thought was remotely decent about this movie was the physicality of the person who actually played the Bye-Bye Man, who was actually an actor who has been in several movies where he played similar characters by the name of Doug Jones. And I know he was in the Hellboy movies, and I believe he's been in lots of others where he has lots of makeup on and he has to have unique physicality. I believe he's worked on some of Guillermo del Toro's movies like Pan's Labyrinth, which I'm seeing here. Yes, he has. He's a very talented man, physically speaking, and they did a good job in casting him, but otherwise I thought this movie was pretty piss poor. For those of you who don't know what this movie's about, essentially it starts off, and I will say this as well, there was the opening of this movie, I was like, ooh, this could be actually pretty decent. It starts off with a scene where you just see this guy, he gets out of his car, and he goes up and he starts asking people if they've talked about something, and that a person, and then he goes around and starts killing people, and it's a couple minute sequence, and it's really off-putting and interesting and freaky and creeps you out, and it's a very good introduction to the movie, and it's a real shame that nothing in the rest of it lives up to it. Essentially, this story is similar to kind of brings to mind stories like Candyman or Bloody Mary, where basically if you say this supernatural being's name, or if you think about him, he will be able to infect your mind and make you see things that aren't there, and make you do things eventually that will cause your own death and the death of people around you. And it's a curse, essentially, and it's an interesting idea, kind of, but the very fact that I can sit here and say, it brings to mind Bloody Mary or Candyman gives you an idea that this movie is far from original. It really feels so derivative of lots of the current horror movies. It really feels like they're trying to marry a concept like Candyman with more of the supernatural feel of movies like The Conjuring and that kind of thing, and neither are done effectively, and the story just doesn't work. The acting in this movie I thought was atrocious. There's these moments that's inherent in the story where people are seeing things that aren't actually there, and they're acting on it, and their performances come off as almost as goofy as Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. I mean, I can't go quite that far. I mean, there aren't very many performances that are that goofy, but it brings that to mind. The acting is atrocious, and again, when you're watching a movie and you notice that every performance you think is poor, it's not. To me, that should be there should be an alarm going off in your head that that's probably the issue with this movie. Isn't the actors? It's probably the way they're being directed, because it doesn't make sense that every actor in this movie is bad if there wasn't something going on behind the scenes that is telling them to give performances in this fashion. Everything feels so overwrought and so overplayed. The movie just falls apart at the seams, left, right, and center. I was looking forward to it ending, and I loved the idea of everybody having to be killed, because there wasn't a character in this movie that I had any interest in sticking around. The only one I would say is the exception to that would be Faye Dunaway, who has a cameo in this movie, which I thought that scene was pretty interesting, and I thought her performance in that scene was pretty interesting. But for the vast majority, it's just it's awful, just an awful movie. I did not like this movie whatsoever. And it's a shame, because I really wanted to. I don't really talk about this on my channel at all, but I'm a big fan of the game show Survivor. I know it's not cool like it used to be, but I've seen every season. I just love I love the strategy of it, and the one-upsmanship and the outthinking your opponents. I just really dig that about that show, and thinking about all the strategy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a big fan of that show. And the person who actually wrote this movie is somebody who's appeared on multiple seasons of the show by the name of Jonathan Penner, who I was a big fan of on Survivor. So I thought, oh, this is gonna be cool. I'll go see his movie, and hopefully it's awesome. It was not. It was not at all. I wanted to like this movie, and I just didn't one iota. So those are my thoughts on the Bye Bye Man. Let me know if you've seen it, if you liked it, how you could like it if you did. Please hit that like button. It does awesome things for my channel. It makes it much more likely that people outside of my usual subscribers will check out my videos. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button if you're new here. It means the world to me that people come and check out my videos and my thoughts on these movies. And if you're subscribed, it's going to make it much more likely that you will, and that would be fantastic. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll get a notification when one of my videos goes up, so you can check it out if you'd like, and that would be freaking awesome. I would be very, very appreciative. Other than that, have yourself a great day.